All right. What's going on, everyone? Chris, Chef Sports Cards here. We are doing 2022 Bowman Draft Lite 5-box break number 16. I don't even know how I came across these, to be honest with you. My distributor talked me into them. It's been a while since we've opened this, so this should be fun. Welcome. Especially if you're new to the channel, welcome. A bit about us. We've been around for over 6 years now. We break mostly baseball. We ship all cards from every break. We're very generous with the top loading, and we ship as quickly as our little hands will move. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. eBay continues to run their sweepstakes. No purchase necessary there. Go to any of our eBay listings. Look in the description. There's a link there. Click on that. Do what it says, and maybe some free cards will show up at your door. Who knows? Maybe worth a shot. Also, our website, chefsportscards.com, our little corner of the World Wide Web. We got some Series 2 breaks up over there. We have the Series 2 Jumbo and Hobby Pick Your Team are both breaking tomorrow night at 8 and 9 o'clock, respectively, Eastern Time. I will send out an email about that tomorrow. There are still a few teams from each break, which are up on eBay now on a one-day auction just to get it filled. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Otherwise, for anybody who's already in those breaks to the website, they will be tomorrow night. We got a couple Series 2 blaster breaks up there. They're super cheap, and they're almost full. So I know the random one's only got like 6 or 8 spots left. So grab a spot, and we'll break those puppies too. ChefSportsCards.com. All right, let's go over the teams. D-backs, Andrew L. Braves, Coleman S. Orioles, Leonardo R. Red Sox, Alexis R. Cubs, Ron E. White Sox, Emerito B. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Reds, Jeff B. Guardians, Josh M. Rockies, Billy R. Tigers, Aaron B. Royals, Steve M. Astros, Thomas M. Angels, Stephen M. Dodgers, Leonardo R. Brewers, Mark H. Twins, Coleman S. Marlins, Stephen M. Mets, Billy R. Yankees and A's, Stephen M. Phillies, Bradley P. Pirates, Billy R. Cardinals, Jeff B. Padres, Charles A. Giants, Andrew L. Mariners, Shane D. Rays, Corey K. Rangers, Stephen M. Blue Jays, Andrew L. And Nationals, Coleman S. All right, let's do it. Good luck, everybody. I don't know. Jackson Holly. I don't even remember who's in here. Let's have a little refresher course. A lot of packs, that's for sure. Any draft product is fun. One of my absolute favorite products, Bowman Draft. All right, let's check her out. Good luck, everybody. All right. How are we doing these? Let's do this. Some papers on top. Okay. Parker Messick. Well, there's a start. Ellie De La Cruz right on top. It's a refractor. Ellie De La Cruz refractor for the Reds. These cards in every which direction. Okay. Reggie Crawford, Khalil Watson, Mason Wynn, Gutierrez, Bowman Invicta. Forgot about those. They haven't made those in a little while. Gavin Cross, Hayden Wallace. Okay. Gavin Cross is another one. Reggie Crawford first Bowman. That's not bad. Sleeve him up. Okay, let's see here. Let's go like that. Get it to focus. Come on. Montgomery, Serda. All right. De Los Santos. There's a Gavin Cross first. Snelling. Teamer Johnson, draft night. That's actually numbered to 250 for the Pirates. 171 of 250. Teamer Johnson, draft night. Very nice. Hilson Morabel. Man, I didn't remember him having these cards all over the place like this. Volpe. And black and white Ezekiel Tovar. Black and white Ray Wave. Okay, let's see here. So Johnson at 250 for the Pirates is Billy. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Go. And Gavin Cross first. So usually when we do Bowman products, if you haven't been on one before, when you have good first chromes, we'll sleeve and top load also, like the top guys. All right, Cuve, Jordan, Mercedes, Walker, Morabel. Lesko, Triantos, Cabrera, Dylan Ray, Jordan Walker Refractor. Bolte, Hernandez, Ray, Triantos, Balcazar, and Joe Lampy first, Ray Wave. All right, Kumar Rocker. Whoop. Crooks, Montgomery, Savino, Melendez. Chromes of Valario, DeChara, Prado. Blackjack for Detroit. Jonathan Class, Refractor for Seattle. Rushing, Mejia, Prado, Valerio, and Fabian. Did I miss a refractor back there? I did. Hilson Morabel was a refractor also for Texas. All right. De Jesus, Mats, Phillips, Burkhalter, Hall, and Amador. Here's a Drew Gilbert for Houston, Judd Fabian, Paulino. Cade Horton Aqua for the Cubbies first. And Mercedes Refractor. Ben Joyce, De Los Santos, and Brady House on the black and white for the Nationals. Cards are so weird with the ones in the middle. Harry Ford, Williams, Meade, Schobel, Milbrandt, and Sweeney. Chromes of Hernandez, Milbrandt, J.R. Ritchie draft night, heir apparent Kumar Rocker, Henry Mendez refractor. I don't know. It's funny you said that. I was just thinking, like, where is Kumar Rocker? Leiter's pitching, right? I don't think either one of them have been very good, but I don't know what happened with Kumar Rocker. Well, originally he was drafted and then he didn't sign. He went back in, got redrafted again the next year. I mean, I'm assuming he's still in the minors or something. I have no idea. I haven't heard his name since he got drafted. I know that. Gabriel Hughes to 199, 115 of 199 for the Rockies. For Billy. It's a good question. All right, chromes of Campos, Brannigan, Thorpe, Bergola, and Luis Meza refractor. Logan Tanner on the back. There's a lot of cards in these boxes. I forgot. Like I said, it's been probably a few years since we've opened these. They're not bad, though. McKenzie, Velasquez, Mule, Blackjack for the Pirates. George Valera, refractor. Chase Dominguez, paper. And Zach Veen, black and white, Rayway for the Rockies. I don't know, man. Leiter and Kumar were supposed to be like the 1-2, right? They were both out of Vanderbilt, right? Weren't they like the 1-2 punch? And I don't think either one of them has even come close to having any real success. I don't know. James Woods. All right. Chromes of Allen, Barco, Ramos, Timur Johnson draft night. Kobe Mayo refractor. McLean, Kasevich. All right. Chromes of Walter Ford, Max Muncy, Parker Messick, heir apparent Jace Jung, Caden Wallace, first refractor, Kansas City. Tristan Verling, first black and white Rayway for the Yankees. All right, one box down, 4 to go. Moving a little faster than that. Well, now that I remember what they were at the first box, I had to get my bearings. There really are 16. How many packs in the box? Huh. All right, chromes of Logan Tanner, Pete Hansen, Boyd, Wood, Hernandez. Black and white Cutter Coffee first for Boston. Boston is Alexis. Brooks Lee. Ooh, he's another one. Chromes, Mizorowski, Juan Baez. Here's a Yasser Mercedes Aqua. Landon Sims, first refractor. And Chase Meadroth for Boston, first Ray Wave. De La Cruz paper. there is like so much oxy powder on these things. That's why the papers are really hard to like move. They're so covered in oxy powder. Like barely hold on to them. All right, Williams, Cowser. Oh yeah, Chase the Lauder. That's right. I forgot he was in here. Chase the Lauder. Tovar, Bean. Chromes of Coffee, Sprinkle, Miller, Blackjack for Seattle, and Henry Williams first refractor for San Diego. Coffee, One House, Zobak, and Mesa. Oh, there's a Jackson Holiday paper. Chromes of Arias, Melton. There's a DeLauder, Lipscomb, and Nick York refractor. Simon Wan, black and white for the Mets. All right, Chromes of Brenner Cox, Bernabel, Hernandez, Timur Johnson first, Bryson Mounts first refractor. What's up, John? Forgot how much of a pain these boxes are, to be honest with you. But I also forgot everyone who was in here. There's actually some pretty good guys in here. Hey, come back here. All right, Chromes of Acuna, Zobak, Parada, Gavin Crosshair apparent, Nick Biddison refractor. Ben, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? What's been going on in your life, man? Anything exciting? Chromes of Cowser, Reckley, Invicta, Kevin Parada for the Mets. Elijah Green, Draft Night. And Harry Ford, Refractor, Seattle. All right, Jet Williams, Jordan Beck, Luciano heir apparent. Ooh. Elijah Green, first refractor. And the black and white, Anthony Volpe. Wow, man. What does he do there? Like what kind of work does he do for the Navy? That's crazy, man. I'd be freaked out. I don't know. I never really. I mean, I think it's great to be in the military. I just never really thought about it for my son. Nuke operation. Oh, jeez. He's gonna be laying the hammer down. Good for him. Cho, Cermak, Murphy, Hassel, and Blake Burkhalter, first refractor. How? What's he on, a 6 month tour, or what's the? I know it's not a tour. It's, I forget the name of it. I had friends in the Navy. I can't think of the name of it. But is it 6 months he goes for, or is deployment? That's what I meant. Is it that type of thing that he comes back in 6 months, or is he going to be stationed over there? Or 5 years total, yeah. But I mean, does he do deployments and come back, or is he just going to be stationed at a base in? We got some gold coming up. All right, Cannon, King, George Valera for Cleveland. 17 of 50. For Josh. He's deployed for 5 years. I got you. Okay, I understand. So he'll be at the base. Sometimes when I lived in Charleston, South Carolina, after college, after culinary school, and I lived in North Charleston, literally like 100 yards from the entrance to the naval base. I know a lot of Navy people down there, so it's like you would get guys who were stationed at the base and then go out on their ship for 6 months at a time and then come back to the base, that type of thing. I know it's different. Yeah, depends on what you do, so on and so forth. White Sox, Blackjack, Verdugo, Refractor. And Kevin Parada, first black and white Rayway for the Mets. His training was in Japan? I got you. Oh, man, congrats, dude. Sounds like he's got a good head on his shoulders. And he knows what he's doing. Tell him to stay in, man. Tell him to stay in. Do the 20, no matter what. Every person I've ever known in my life who's been truly like happy later in life, all of them are like, "Oh, well, I was in the service for 20 years," so they all got the pension, at 40 years old or whatever, and then go on and start something else. And then you don't have to worry about money. Easier said than done, I know, but hey, if you're gonna put 5 in, you might as well put 20 in. That's the way I look at it. Oh, it was in South Carolina. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I knew a lot of Navy boys back in the day. I can tell you some really funny and scary stories about those guys. So, there's another Jackson Holiday paper. So this was, I lived there in, 95? I guess it was 95, 96, 97, like around there. Churio, Lampy, Acosta, Gilbert. And there was this bar literally right outside of the base. Kobe Mayo, black and white. Called the Annex. And this place was something else. The Annex, the guy who owned it was an ex Navy guy, married to this really mean Filipino woman. And they were open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In South Carolina, if you're a private club, you can be open anytime you want. And he literally had this like little storage room, and they used to live there. They slept in there. So like, here's a Brooks Lee first. So if you got up at like 5 a.m, wanted to go have a drink, all you had to go do was go over and bang on the door, Brady House Refractor, and he'd open up for you. He was crazy. So yeah, I remember her. Really, 33 years. Jeez, that's crazy. Well, good for her. Um. Anyway, all these guys, and I never really knew military guys before that. Before I lived there, and again, this was right after I got out of college and stuff. And like my father and my grandfather were in the military, but it was never something they pushed for or anything like that. It wasn't really big in my family, Like I didn't have cousins who were in the service or whatever. So they used to, everyone back then, their biggest worry was getting caught for weed. Because if you got caught and tested positive for weed, you got kicked out. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's still that way to this day, but Like, and they all smoked weed. They all got stoned all the time. Munoz, Beavers, Richie, Colas, Hernandez Refractor. There's a nice Brooks Lee for the Twins. Black and white Ray Wave first. Very nice. Coleman. So anyway, the way they used to do it was they would pull a number for your social security number, and then the next they would announce the number, and then the tests were like a couple days later, So if the number of the week was 9, everybody who had a 9 as the last digit of their social security number had to take a drug test that week. And they used to actually pick the number like 10 days before, but they would announce it 2 days before the test. Clark Elliott, Acuna, Crawford, Tristan Verling, first refractor, and a guy who came to the bar all the time worked in the office that picked the number. But before he went in, he was still testing hot. The week before, his recruiter gave him something that flushed his system. That's funny because that's where the story's going. So a guy who worked in the office who used to pull the number used to come to the bar all the time. And I mean, honestly, other than working, this bar was like the only place I ever hung out down there for the 3 years I lived there. So I knew everyone there really well. So basically, the number would get pulled on a Monday, and then the test would be the following Friday, not the next Friday, the following Friday. But they would announce the number the next Wednesday. So like they'd pull it on a Monday, not that Wednesday, the following Wednesday, they would announce it. The test would be on Friday. So you wouldn't really have enough time, but this guy always had the number days and days early. There's a nice Gavin Cross for Kansas City. Aqua. So everyone would wait with bated breath at the bar every week. There's a Gavin Cross refractor, too, to find out what the number was. And then he would walk in and make the announcement because he would tell. So they would have like 10 days until they had to test. So he'd come in and be like, the number is 8. And everyone would be like, oh. And then the guys with 8 would all be all so upset because they had 10 days to flush their system. And back then, they all used to take niacin. Oh, God, it was brutal. I don't know how they did that to themselves. But for those of you who know how to or have tried to beat a drug test in the past, which I unfortunately am one of those people, you could take high doses of niacin, which is also very dangerous to do. And your body basically like burns from the inside out, but it gets it out of your system pretty quick. But they didn't play around, man. Like you popped hot one time, that was it. You're done. You're kicked. I mean, and at first when I met these guys, I was like, oh, come on. Like you must, And I mean, again, Ben Joyce refracted. This is the mid 90s. So marijuana doesn't have quite the, attitude it does nowadays, where it's legal in, 75% of the country and most people don't care anymore. It was still a really big deal. And they would tell me, I'd be like, look, you don't get like hey, you're going to the brig for 10 days or anything like that. They're like, no, they just kick you out. So you'd see all the guys every week. You always knew what the number was by who was trying to get whatever they had in their system out in like a week. It was crazy. Christian Vaquero, Aqua for Washington. White Sox. Sonny DiChiara, first refractor. Ellie, black and white Ray Wave. There you go for the Cincinnati. Yeah, they had a few. The niacin was one. A lot of them used to do. What was that other thing? I did the niacin thing before when I was younger. I would never do that now. I think I'd have a heart attack if I tried to do that now. Not that I need to. I've been sober for years, but what were the other ones? They used to do the vinegar thing, but most of them, I don't ever remember anyone popping when we were there and these guys were not, casual. These were stoners, these guys. I mean, they were not casual smokers. They, Yeah. That was one of the craziest places I'd ever been in my life. Like, it was such That bar was, you could tell stories all day about that place. Hayden Dunhurst first refractor. They had all like the slot machines in there and stuff, and they weren't legal in South Carolina at the time, but the guy didn't care. Like I think I never met a person as much as this guy who just didn't care what people thought. And for anybody who's been down there to South Carolina, North Charleston, South Carolina, it's not a nice area. It's in fact quite the opposite. It's I lived there because it was cheap and it was my first job out of culinary school, and I think I made like $7.50 an hour as a sous chef. Pintar Mayer, Cole Phillips first, number 39 of 75 for the Braves. Mikey Romero, heir apparent. Edison Paulino. But I mean, you were smack dab in the ghetto out there. It was not a nice area to live. And we used to the guy J.R. Ritchie first, Rayway. The guy who owned the place used to do pig roasts, and he would pay me to do the pig roast. So me and my friend Kevin and Marshall, we would have to sit out there all night roasting a pig, and we get all the like crackheads and these like chicken head chicks coming up. What are you doing? They were trying to steal the pig and stuff. Oh my god, it was the craziest place. Yeah, I see. I wonder with like the military and stuff. Could you? I mean, I okay. Maybe this is a dumb question, but I gotta ask. Could you have like a medical marijuana card in the military these days? Like if you could get a legitimate like doctor to, but they don't put up with that either. I guess. I guess because federally it's still illegal. So and they're yeah. All right. I'd probably answer my own question there. Rodriguez, McLean. Here's a Ellie Invicta. Connor Prelate. I haven't thought about that place in years, but I met some interesting fellows in South Carolina, that's for sure. Yeah, because federally it's still illegal. I wonder when or if they're ever going to change that. It's so ridiculous at this point. Like, look, I don't smoke. I haven't smoked in years, and I mean, but I'm not one of these people who gets sober and then it's like, oh, you shouldn't do it. Hey, man, do your thing, whatever. I don't care. I mean, I just couldn't handle my high, so I had to get sober eventually. Um, but it seems so ridiculous that you have all these states where it's legal, and then you still have the feds like making it tough on people, especially growers and stuff, using banks and doing all kinds of stuff. It seems crazy. That and all the people that are sitting in jail for like non-violent marijuana crimes is just nuts. Cole Young, Doncon Refractor. Well, good luck to your son, Ben, man. Sounds like he knows what he's doing. Woman Diaz, black and white. Yeah, I would think so too. You would especially think from the tax aspect of it, like if look, I'm not promoting this. I know some people would be really against this, but I mean, if you start selling and having companies like the big tobacco companies and stuff produce, you know, packs of weed, cigarettes, the tax implications, everything would be huge from that. Kumar Vasquez Jordan. Kumar Rocker Mood Ring. Believes Jordan Refractor. I don't know. It seems so. And look, in hindsight, and especially as a person who's sober and has been sober for a long time and been through, I've done a lot of drug rehab stuff and helped people and all kinds of stuff. Believe me, alcohol's way worse for you than weed is. I would much rather someone smoke weed than drink alcohol. We had this guy when I finally got sober. Caden Wallace. This is the one that freaked me out. Benny Montgomery, refractor. I alcohol wasn't really my issue, although I drank a lot of alcohol. But when I kind of quit, I figured I got to quit everything, you know? Jace Young, Black and White, first. Like, and I had a lot of guys around me who were like, well, no, I'm here because I take a lot of pills or I do this, right? So that's what I need to quit. And I was just like, if I'm going to do it, I got to do it, you know, because it's just going to send me back towards whatever. And so anyway, I mean, I went in for drugs, you know, but I met this guy when I was in there who was in alcohol, who was in for alcohol. I never saw anyone as sick as this guy in my life from alcohol. He was like 30 years old. He was in congestive heart failure. He was covered in like psoriasis. Like he was in liver failure. He was this. He was that. He quit drinking, and 6 months later, he was like a whole new person. It's crazy how bad alcohol is for you. Kumar Rocker, Refractor. And believe me, again, I'm not against anyone using anything, but when you see something like that and see a transformation of someone, you're like, oh my God, like, dude had a foot in the grave. Now, this is also a guy who walked into an emergency room and blew like a .62 or something like that, which I know you'd be like, no, he'd be dead. No, this guy did it. He was no joke. Um, all right, Mounts, Hernandez, Jesus, Lee, Cerda Refractor, Justin Boyd, first for Cincinnati. Yeah, you know what? I was actually very lucky. Mine was opiates, but mine was before the like big oxy thing happened. You know, mine was in the 90s. And, you know, not that it wasn't around, but the real oxy thing was kind of late 90s into the 2000s. And luck, and I'll be honest with you, it was very lucky of me because there were a lot of things I was doing back then that were made illegal later that I would have been in prison for more than a few years, thank God. Like they made the laws after I started getting sober. Jimmy Crooks Refractor. Um, you know, the doctor shopping and, you know, all make, you know, fake prescriptions and all kinds of stuff. Stuff I got away with that I wouldn't have like 5, 10 years later. Thank God. All right. Alcantara, Harrington, Leonard, Vera, Schultz Refractor, Brian Acuna on the black and white. Yeah, that's it's everybody's got their thing. Mine was funny because I had been trying to get sober in a few different ways and went to rehab and then nothing was taking and I was getting wholly frustrated. But all right, hold on. Give me a second. I'm about to have an avalanche on my hands here. I knew I was in really bad. I was in bad shape. I was in really bad shape, and I knew either I was going to get sober or somebody was going to find me dead. And I actually, I heard about Suboxone. Well, I heard Subutex at the time. It wasn't even they didn't even have Suboxone yet. And I heard about this medicine, so I went to a regular doctor and was like, "Listen, you know." This doctor, like, she was like so proud of me, but she had no idea what I was talking about. Nick Medicine to 250 for the Dodgers. And I went in and I told her, I said, look, this is the situation I'm in. It's been going on for years, blah, blah, blah. I've graduated heroin and this and that, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, it's so strong of you to come forward and talk about it. And I was like, so do you know? She's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was just like, oh, great. But eventually I found a doctor who used it and did therapy and all that stuff. And it took, so. Dylan Beavers, De Jesus, But yeah, everybody's bottom's different, you know, that's for sure. Yeah, no, that's true. My my business partner, his sister passed away of an overdose. I tried like crazy to help that girl. And like you just Dominic Keegan. Some people just they're just not ready. You know what I mean? No matter what you do for them, they're just not there. You know. Eric Brown for the Brew Crew for Mark, and this was I don't know 6 7 years ago, something like that. And they did everything for her. I mean, honestly, it was. I'm surprised they went even as far as they did with some of the stuff they did for her. But and of course, she was in a Burger King in North Philly, and she OD'd in the bathroom of a Burger King. And they came and Narcaned her and woke her up, and which I still don't understand how they haven't passed better laws around Narcan that you have to like if somebody uses it on you, I think you should be automatically put on a hold for like 3 days. But for those of you who know what it is, it kind of immediately throws you into withdrawal as an addict. So what do? You go use more. But it's still in your system, so she went and used more, and they found her dead in an apartment like an hour later. And it's a wonder drug, but not if it's not handled properly, you know. All right, box number 5. Stop talking about depressing stuff. I'm sorry. We shouldn't get into that conversation. We're opening cards here. But glad to hear everyone's safe and happy. Good for you, Ben. It's not easy, my friend. I know it. All right. Elijah Green paper. Oh, another Jackson Holiday. We keep getting Jackson Holiday papers. How about a black and white or something like that? Sims, Baria, Judd Fabian refractor. Hey, John, are you still out there by chance? Rocker, Kempner, Elliott refractor first. Mm, Willie Vasquez, a black and white. Time is it? It's 11 o'clock. Give me a second, guys. I gotta put a note up in the next break that we're running behind. Crooks, Vasquez, Brendan Baria, Twins, Blackjack, De Los Santos, a refractor, Bennett, ba ba ba, ba 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 ba. Cade Horton, Gutierrez, and William Kempner for San Francisco. 154 of 250. For Andrew. Cubbies, J.R. Ritchie refractor. Jose Ramos, black and white. Carson Milbrandt refractor. Which way are we here? I think this way. Wait, what is going on here? Oh, it must be numbered, right? There we go. Roderick Arias for the Yanks. 7 of 250. For Steven. Samuel Muñez, refractor, and Christian Vaquero, black and white. Jordan Davis Campbell. There's a Jackson Holiday Invicta. Snelling, first refractor. All right, last couple packs. McFarland, De Jesus Rincones. Drew Gilbert, Aqua, first. Trevor Martin, refractor. And Brandon Baria, first. Burkhalter, Bolt, Mounts, Cole Young, Gabriel Hughes, first. All right, last pack. Where are we going here? Let's try it this way. All right, Williams, Rushing, Ford, Hernandez, Mazer, refractor, Roberto Campos for Detroit. All right, that will do it. My, oh my. Forgot how many cards are in these boxes. Jeez. I want to thank you for joining us this evening. As always, I couldn't do this without you, and I do truly appreciate it. If you're not in any of our other breaks tonight, please stay safe, stay healthy out there. Bear with me for a sec. We're going to put a little hit recap together. Do-do-do. Do-do. 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 Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right, we're doing a hit recap on 2022 Bowman Draft Lite 5-box break number 16. All right, so these these are all refractors up here. We're gonna go through them, pull out the rookies and the firsts and the good guys and stuff, and make sure they're taken care of. A few more of them here. There's a lot of refractors. Black and white ray waves. Got a bunch of those too. I'm not gonna go through them all, but kind of quickly. Again, we'll go through and pull out any of the firsts and such. Make sure they're in good shape. We did have a Brooks Lee first ray wave. Nice one there. Some other stuff I pulled out that will all get top loaded. De La Cruz Invicta. Jackson Holiday paper 1, 2, 3 times. Gavin Cross refractor first. Drew Gilbert and Jackson Holiday Invictus. And we did have a short print Kumar Rocker on the Mood Ring. And then other parallels. The Aqua not numbered. Cade Horton, Yasser Mercedes, Gavin Cross, Vaquero, Wallace, Keegan, and Drew Gilbert. And numbered stuff to 250, Nick Biddison and Roderick Arias. Gabriel Hughes to 199, Teamer Johnson to 250 on the draft night. William Kempner to 250, Cole Phillips to 75, and George Valera Gold to 50 for the Guardians. All right, folks, again, thanks so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. We'll be back in just a few minutes with Top Score and Platinum. Have a great night. Take care. Bye.